Pepsi approached us with a really unique opportunity to conceptualize and create a spot that spoke to this new initiative that they're doing using solar carts, and it was a great opportunity for us to really think broad and think big and think globally and think how we're going to tell this story, which is so interesting and so unique and so different. Everybody wants to be empowered to be able to craft an idea and have the support of a company like Pepsi.
Put yourself on those zero sheds for that.
When Pepsi agreed to let us tell the story of light and shadows using just Pepsi cans, there's a lot of trust that has to happen between a client like Pepsi and a production company like us.
Okay. Should we roll a little something?
Yeah.
Keep this. I just take this and roll a little something.
We're just keep this light always.
And rolling on this.
So let's just keep dimming up and down and zigzagging back and forth. If we could nobody move, it would be wonderful. I would say it was the first time I've ever got a job that we took on, and I wasn't sure that we'd be able to do it. I thought, what if we got our clients' money, we took all this time and energy, and we showed up and we just couldn't do it because we didn't know at all if the cans made these kind of shapes, if we could actually make these shadows. And to me, an analogy is almost like taking a roll of 35mm film and wondering if it's exposed or not to light. You know, it kind of sucks. But anyway, we had these amazing art directors, Carlos and Maxwell, and they came through for us.
What I first thought of was the possibilities of how we could use these simple materials, let's say cans, to create these forms. I mean, it just seemed like a simple equation, and I like that idea. It's light, it's the form, and the shadow, and how to triangulate those into making something more. So it was just like an interesting problem.
The cans needed to basically be empty for some of them, the big cantilevered pieces to be up. So we had to figure out how to get the Pepsi out of cans without it's showing. That was a challenge. Then it was really figuring out what kinds of shapes you could create by moving the cans around. Sometimes the combinations you had to make were not what you would expect to get a certain shape, like the rays of the sun or something.
But I mean, for me at least, it's like a lot of the times it was the unexpected things. You just can't really plan to understand what it will do, and then suddenly you'll shift something, and that's it, and then you have to somehow find a way to lock it in. I mean, they had to remain intact, obviously. We couldn't modify the cans in terms of, really the only modification that they underwent was taking out the Pepsi liquid. That was a necessity because of the cantilevering these things. You couldn't do this if they were filled. So, but that was it. There was no other modifications of the can. Nothing was crushed, cut, or anything in any way.
Can we say shadows, camera, action instead of light?
My reel, I'm really kind of known as a guy that does a lot of design and animation and visual effects, and this spot is all live action. But I think, to me, it really feels like something that lives in my body of work, and it's very Gary to me. And I was talking with one of my partners about whether we would do this CG or live action, and my partner suggested we do it CG initially because, one, it would be easier, you could make it however you wanted, and two, maybe it would just be more in keeping with the kind of work that we market ourselves for. I just told them, I said, it looked pretty in CG, it looked interesting in CG, and certainly we could do it, but maybe more interesting is the fact that, or I think what would make it go more viral, or more interesting, is if we could make it work in reality and make it real, do it practically.
record and we'll see. We can just take it maybe. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what it looks like if you or if you roll that dolly through this thing. One thing that Gary was always really strong on is that we wanted to really just be manipulating one element at a time. That we weren't trying to confuse or obfuscate or see how many things could happen at one point, but really create the narrative and draw out the action and the momentum and just kind of tell the story and show the story through clean visual images. Okay, cool. So that's it. So now that's our rotation. So now if you could just give us a little less headroom. Actually, give us that light one more time, you stay if you could. And I think this angle's good, placement feel good. Should we do this one or any last minute? Okay, cool. So do you have the ability to lock off on this thing completely?
Yes. Is there something that we can look at? Just, I don't know.
Okay, so if you can lock on that thing, that would be great. We're kind of going for moments, and the moments are going into the build, and that has a lot to do with the way that the piece is put together with a lot of small little cans ultimately that are creating one big picture. We're really striving to make sure that each of our moments, our breaths, our kind of sketches we were making, our moves, felt really beautiful and precise and had a value.
Put this thing back up to where it was.
Alright guys, so once again, you cannot make any movement. We're just going to stay right where we are. Okay? Let's do this and rock it out.
And action.
Alright guys, we can't have any walking.
Yeah.
I saw
So why don't we cut
Let's
that?
reset and cut.
Resetting.
Yeah, that works. So I guess.
It's more of the cable and everything else. That's
Okay, do you need a cabler? You need a person? No. Well, you did great. I know that what we did today, all of us together, gathered really, really clean, beautiful, inspired images, if I can say that. And I know that it's going to be put together in the best possible formulation to really, go to the next level.
Pepsi entrusted us with this idea and the concept and the execution, and it really allowed for us to spread our wings and just fly and really create something that I think is going to be dynamic.